These past 12 months have taken us around the world, from heart-wrenching wars to natural disasters, and man-made ones too. And through so many of them, ABC's David Muir was there, bringing us the news, but also bringing us the best of humanity coming together.
This year, in 2023, the horrific unfolding war in Israel and Gaza. The death toll staggering. More than 20,000 people killed in Gaza since the war began, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry, and 1,200 people killed in Israel in the Hamas terror attack, according to Israeli authorities. Hamas breaching the border into Israel. Among their first targets, this kibbutz in Be'eri.
You can see that we're approaching the gate now to the kibbutz.
112 residents were killed here. The children were not spared.
What hits the most are these backpacks, the children's school bags, left right here in the open.
The militants taking hostages, including Americans. Tonight, there are still questions. It is unclear how many are still alive. Hirsch Goldberg Poland is one of them. The 23-year-old taken hostage during that music festival. His parents from Chicago, and his mother Rachel telling me about his last 2 text messages to his parents.
There were 2 messages in a row at 8:11. The first one said, "I love you," and the second one said, "I'm sorry." So I immediately knew something terrible had happened.
And those 2 words, "I'm sorry."
Yeah. And I keep saying, it's okay.
Israel swiftly responding to the attacks. Our teams across the region.
This is where it all began. Heavily armed terrorists coming over from Gaza.
He got a call from his mum, terrified that terrorists were in her house.
You just had the air raid siren. There you go, you can hear the sound of an explosion. Overhead, I can see some smoke.
The international reaction.
As you can see, protesters pushing back against security forces.
Our team in Gaza, embedded with the IDF.
It's hard to take in the scale of the destruction here in Gaza City.
And our producers in Gaza documenting the toll on civilians, the families.
It's very difficult, but what can I do?
At least 1.9 million people fleeing south in Gaza. The dire humanitarian need amid the relentless bombing by Israel. Palestinian families saying there is nowhere left to go.
These communities have just got up and left in a hurry.
The temporary ceasefire brokered by Qatar. At least 240 Palestinian prisoners released. And more than 100 of the hostages being held in Gaza released too. Families reuniting. Among them, the Asher family.
Yoni, I'm David.
We met Yoni Asher just days after his wife and young daughters were taken captive. Yoni, at the time, showing us their shoes and toys left behind. All he had in that moment were the images of his wife being taken away.
I couldn't believe this is happening to me. It was a nightmare.
And that nightmare, 49 days of waiting, ending with this hug. One family back together. This year, nearly 2 years into Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the UN now recording more than 10,000 civilian deaths, more than 550 of them children. Russia's President Vladimir Putin vowing to continue the fight. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., just this month, appealing to U.S. lawmakers for more aid. And we were with President Biden after his secret trip to Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, earlier this year.
Russia is suspending participation, cooperation in the nuclear treaty with the United States. What's your message to Putin on that?
It's a big mistake to do that. Not very responsible.
1/3 of Ukraine's population fleeing their homes. The children bravely going to school in bomb shelters. Back here at home, Americans coming together in the face of tragedy here. The mass shootings, Lewiston, Maine, authorities launching a manhunt for the suspect who opened fire at a restaurant, bar and grill, and at a bowling alley. It was youth night. 18 people were killed, 13 injured. One of the lives lost, Joseph Walker, who worked at the bar. His father, Leroy, describing to me the emptiness he now feels.
Your whole body, everything goes out of you. Your heart goes flip-flop, and It's just hard. It's empty. It's empty.
This year, the Americans showing resilience after the catastrophic wildfire on Maui. At least 100 lives lost.
Lahaina is on fire.
Families jumping over the seawall to survive the flames. We were with two boat captains who answered the call to help, Captains Riley Kuhn and Travis DeWater, capturing these images. Families pulled from the water.
As we look at it here, you can see that people had no place to go other than the water or the one road out of town. Yeah. I mean, they were trapped. Sorry. Just gotta think for a second.
Captain Riley, who is from Maui, broken. So many across Maui determined to help.
A lot of people here did a lot of heroic work, huh?
Yeah, that was one of the most amazing things out of this, is to watch how fast the community came together and rose up.
Americans tested this year and proving the strength of their communities.
Is there a big tornado, big wedge?
The deadly EF4 tornado hitting Rolling Fork, Mississippi, north of Jackson. Dozens were killed there. Sam Jackson was inside his home and took shelter under a mattress.
You found the flag?
He shows us the flag his wife bought for Veterans Day.
It's unbelievable that the house is destroyed, but the flag, there's not a tear in it.
Not a tear in it.
And nature's fury overseas, too. The 7.8 magnitude earthquake, more than 55,000 killed across Turkey and Syria, according to the Red Cross. The frantic search for survivors.
You can see they're trying to lift a giant piece of concrete here to search beneath it to see if anyone survived this.
The young woman, Fatma, telling us she worries her home might be next.
You're all still living in fear from these tremors and aftershocks?
She tells us we cannot sleep. We are terrified.
I'm sorry you're living in fear.
She hopes, as everyone here does, for a miracle. The rescues. The young boy, Muhammad, sipping water from a bottle cap as a team works to free him.
Muhammad.
The newborn baby born in the rubble in Syria. Her name, Aya, meaning miracle in Arabic. And the rescuers overcome, finding a man trapped after 108 hours. One more life saved. This year, the news on climate. Scientists finding 2023 to be the hottest ever on record. We witness the effects climate change is having firsthand. We land in South Sudan, where there is an urgent effort to get help to more than 1 million people in desperate need. We head out with the World Food Program, traveling down the only road in, carrying aid. Climate change making the extremes here, the drought and the floods, only more extreme. 4 years in a row now of historic flooding, waters unable to recede.
This is a tiny piece of land completely surrounded by the waters here, an island in and of itself. And these are the families that have stayed behind to continue to raise their children here.
The hospital in Bentu, caring for the sick and the hungry. The 9-year-old boy drinking water before slowly falling back into his bed. The baby, just 40 days old, a little more than a month, holding my finger. His grip strengthening after just 3 days of nutritional aid, a much-needed sign of hope here in a place where they desperately need it. The World Food Program telling us after our reporting, ABC News viewers wanted to help. Donations began pouring in, nearly $4.9 million. So many of you moved by the quiet, determined work of the mothers, pulling water lilies out from the dangerous, stagnant floodwaters to feed their children whatever they can. And so many of you were moved by the children, too, their resilience. Gathering for school under the shade of a tree. That fist bump from the little girl in the dress.
Hi.
Then all of the others who wanted in, too. They are the ones who provide the hope in South Sudan. And it's the children across the world helping to carry hope for a more peaceful, more optimistic 2024.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.